Hello? Hey everybody, Shivcore here with our first Shadowlands video. Well, kind of. We're actually, at the time of recording, at the BFA pre-patch. So because of all the delays going on and us not being able to get an accurate time on the expansion, we got the pre-patch, but we didn't get a lot of the pre-patch content. So today we're going to talk about what we can do with our Shadowlands pre-patch. So we're going to look at abusing some very fast leveling techniques utilizing Chromie time. This is by far the fastest way that I have found to level so far. This process was working before the Shadowlands pre-patch, but it's only gotten better now that we have Chromie time. So we're going to take a look at abusing a monk to help us boost our character. So this is also going to be a very good gold farm. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start talking about heirlooms. The gear that I'm running into is I'm not fully wearing all of the heirlooms because I just haven't updated my cloth set. But this set now, instead of giving experience, it reduces the rate at which you consume your rested XP. So the gear I'm not so worried about. What we have now is we have our monk who is in the process of gathering up a huge portion of the instance that they're running through right now. And they're not performing any hostile activities, they are body pulling everything. So what he's going to do is when he gets back, he's going to put his Black Ox statue right here in this corner, and the Black Ox statue is going to be our tank. Now, mind you, because we're in pre-patch, the maximum level is 50. So he has not activated Chromie time, but I have. So what we're going to do now is, because this is functioning as a boost, I'm going to have to contribute to the damage. In fact, I'm going to be the sole person dealing damage to these mobs. So I've adjusted my spec to try to do as much AoE damage as I can possibly do, because the statue has a 15-minute duration. And the statue is going to be my target dummy. That's going to be my tank. So I have to basically kill the entire instance within that 15-minute window. You're going to see that it's going to take way less time than that. So right now he's still pulling. I believe he's going to end up pulling the entirety of the arena, the entirety of the detention block, and a couple of things off by the boss that is over here on the left. So as he runs through, again, he took off his Heart of Azeroth, he took off anything that would cause him to do damage because he can't perform any hostile actions for this to work. We're basically going to be utilizing a weird interaction with how the Black Ox statue works versus how having a max level character would normally diminish the amount of XP that you get during the run. So we're going to find ourselves in a situation where once he has everything gathered up, I'm going to start this timer and immediately just going to try to kill the entirety of the dungeon. And we're going to see where that goes from there. So before we get in there, just because of the spec that I went with, I'm going to buff myself up a little bit. So I'm going to do a demonic sacrifice on my pet. Familiarize myself with my bars. There aren't really good functioning add-ons right now. So the UI is a bit bare bones. I'm also not used to playing a warlock, so if you're leveling a class that you're far more familiar with, this is going to be way easier for you. So this method doesn't just work in Blackrock Depths. I've done this in Stockades, and the other dungeon that I really like doing this in is Hellfire Peninsula. So you see that the monk is on his way over now. And he's going to drop his statue, once he's not rooted, right into this corner. And then he is going to run as far away as he can. And now we just wait for the rest of the instance to catch up. Here it comes. And we're going to make sure that it's all on the statue. So once everything's on the statue, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the monk from the party. So he's uninvited. Then I'm going to tag everything, And then I'm going to re-invite the monk so that he doesn't get kicked from the group. And now it's just a matter of starting the timer and killing the mobs. Let's move that stopwatch. And then we're going to use our Rapture. I have the Endless Corruption talent, because that's just going to make my ability to AoE a lot easier. This process is going to be so much more efficient on characters that can multi-dot. You'll see I'm taking a small bit of damage, but otherwise it's basically just me going through and hitting a normal AoE rotation. I'm just tabbing through and putting Agony on everything, and when I fill up, I'm just using this Rapture. And I am by no way a proficient Affliction Warlock. I'm sure there's far more efficient ways to do this. But you've probably already noticed as things have started to die, I am getting full experience for everything that I'm killing, even though it's all being tanked by the statue. And because the max level at the time character is not using Chromie time, the statue is not going to die anytime soon. We are going to be limited here by the fact that the statue will only last for 15 minutes. That ends up being far less relevant in quite a few situations. I'm sure that if your class is not as proficient at multi-dotting, you might find it to be a little bit harder to maintain everything. You can see we have dozens and dozens of mobs running around. And you can see I'm not even into rested XP anymore, and the XP rate that you're getting from doing this is absolutely insane. We are 3 minutes into the actual kill time. Now, if you're the booster doing this, you're going to want to focus on things that increase your movement speed, things that get you around the world a lot faster. But if you're the boostee, all you need to care about is getting as much damage done in as small of a window as you possibly can. By the time we're here, he ended up pulling a boss. If I had seen the boss, I probably would have done a bit more single target focus than what I'm doing. Because again, I am not a proficient warlock, but you can see that this comes very, very quickly. And at this point, realistically, we're at the point now where we're basically done. Like, we do not need to kill this boss, because the boss's XP isn't really going to give us all that much. So we'll kill this last mob. And we'll call that a run. So you can see that I got almost an entire level from just that one run, and those are the later levels. And this will scale accordingly as you go through all of the different dungeons. So you can keep doing BRD over and over again. The big difference is that the boostee needs to make sure that they use Chromie time for Cataclysm. As long as you do that, you will be of appropriate level for the dungeon that you're doing, but the booster needs to not have any Chromie time going so that they scale accordingly. But hope you guys found the video helpful. Like it if you like it, and see you next time.